first we'll talk about suppliers. Suppliers is within procurement. Like if I go here under procurement, you will see a tile for suppliers. In case you don't see it here, you can go here and check also. Depending on the environment, it might be on the navigator. Now, click on the suppliers. This is your supplier dashboard. You can say anything that is pending approval and business classifications approval, anything with incomplete setup. It is showing you this is an incomplete setup. Any profile change request. Now here they have introduced a process where once you create a supplier, it goes for profile approval, profile creation approval. If it is approved, then only it will get created. Now, the options that you see here, tasks that you see here is controlled by your roles and privileges in the application. So in the security where you are entering all the roles and the privileges, this is where you will see it. You must have the role of supplier manager or supplier administrator to be able to get this create supplier. Otherwise, you can only register or you can manage. Now let's create a supplier for the very first time. So this is the name of the supplier. We'll say SP Enterprises Private Limited. What is the business relationship? Prospective. That means for future. You're just evaluating the supplier now. You're not ready to place a purchase order with him. Spend authorized means that you are ready to place a purchase order with that person. Tax organization type, what type of company it is, partnership, supplier, foreign investor, you can have all these. And then these are the mandatory ones. Other than this, these are optional. DUNS, this is a Dun and Bradstreet. They used to do a supplier industry codification. So this is the code number. In US primarily it is used, it is not used outside the US, and US also not every company uses it. Okay, so here you can see there is addresses, there is sites, there is contacts, there is qualifications. Now for each supplier, you have a load of information that you can enter. This is the profile details, organization, business classification, product and services. Most of it is not mandatory, but in some cases, customers may be maintaining it and they will expect that the same is maintained in the application. So then we come to the addresses. So let's say corporate headquarter. You can have it in any country. And this is the address purpose that you have here. Okay, whether it is for ordering, remit to RFQ. So it could be RFQ. Any request for quotations is basically what it is talking about. and email of that particular address. Save it. Now, just creating the address is not enough. You should create a site also over here. Okay. Now you will see that you may not get access through this sign in because you may not have proper access to create the site, or it had the profile has to be updated. Only then you will be able to create the site. Now you say, okay, go to sites here. And you see this plus button. This plus button will be only if you are a procurement agent with access to manage suppliers. Okay, this is one. Now, even if you are a procurement agent, the profile request, if it is submitted, it has to be processed first. Only then you will be able to get it. Now here you also have the option to manage suppliers. Click on manage and you can search for existing suppliers. So you have ABC Bank, ABC Consulting. Let's click on ABC Bank and see. That is the name of a supplier. Okay. Here you can see the addresses and then you will be able to see the site. Okay. If the person has if you have access, then only you will be able to see it. Remember that again. Okay, now let's go and quickly see who are the procurement agents, also called as the buyer in the application. Manage procurement agents. You can do it through payables also or from the procurement one. And this is the business unit. So let's say US 1. Save and close. And here you can see the procurement for this procurement BU, who are the agents. Okay. From the names, we'll pick up one supplier, one agent for whom we will go in and enter it. See, Roth Calvin is one, Calvin.Roth for China business unit. Then if you are looking for US default is this, and they are also able to do it for US one. Let's look at Calvin Roth. Okay, Calvin Roth, Calvin.Roth. And when you go to the procurement, you will be able to see the suppliers, go to suppliers, and here you can search. So you will get manage suppliers. So I was doing SP Enterprises. Address is there. I go to sites. Now see the plus sign is enabled. So for this, I'll do plus. So procurement, which this particular user has access to these procurement business units. So I'll use US1. Which address? This is the corporate headquarter. And what are the purposes? Maybe for pay, this is the site purpose. Okay. And these are the general settings that you have. This is a DFF that has been defined and it is left as mandatory. So you will have to define it. Then we say save. Now these become enabled. Over here, these site assignments is important because this will drive what is the behavior of the application, which is the ship to location, bill to location, what is the default accounting, liability distribution. So whatever you will put here, that will default at the time of entering the invoice. Like this is prepayment. So you will get an account for prepayment and everything will be put under that. Okay, so prepayments. If you want to link any distribution set, you can do that. This is inactive after, in case you want to change it. I'm just using one account for now. It later on you might find, just to show you this. So this is the, which is very, very important. So later on you will find when you are doing any creation of the supplier using different modes, whether it is APIs or through the FBDIs, then you should have these details also, because unless you put in these details, you will not be able to raise any invoices. These are the invoice related settings. What is the currency? What is the invoice amount limit? If you put these are the defaulting, or these will control, it will restrict. So users can't just pick up anything and enter. Okay. So it gives some amount of control. So payment related, what are the payment methods? What are the payment bank accounts, bank attributes of the supplier? Receiving, what are the receivings? This is the purchasing. Okay. Now, once you're done with this, you can say save and close. The changes were saved. So here you can see there is a question mark, which means something is missing there. Now let's go and see the ABC. If you remember, we were looking at ABC Bank. See, the ABC Bank site was there, but when I signed in as the instructor, I was not able to see any site because I was not defined as a procurement agent. If I am defined, then I have the right to authority, the privilege to do these activities in the system.